I want to kill myself. We are on an 0-7 run over the last 2 days. After tonight was just complete bullshit. So that's how I'm going to start off this show. Horrible Sunday, 1-5. I don't even know what to tell you about that. I just don't want to do this anymore. I have never seen anything like this, man. With the slump continuing, 2 straight losses, not a good day at all. 0-4. I just have not had a good season, man. What can this slump that I'm on? The slump continues. I've reached a new peak, actually. I'm gonna burn my Bruins hat, man. I don't know what is going on with the Bruins. March 8th, is that what it is? I don't even know. It's March 9th, I think. Who even knows, man? I don't know what day it is anymore. I don't even know what day it is anymore, man. Back with you after the worst day that I could possibly have. Back with you, as I always am. Until I die, at least. 0-2 yesterday, and yesterday did not go well for me. 0-5. The worst month that I've ever had in my 18 years doing this. I don't know what to even tell you about this anymore. Broke the slump yesterday as the slump discontinues. The slump continues. Somebody fucking kill me, please. I don't even know what I should do at this point other than potentially end it all. What's up, everybody? It's Toad back with you for Better Off Dead Sunday, August 3rd. My mother's birthday. Happy birthday to her. I will be going to an event for that later today. After I get done with this, actually, I'll probably be heading out. So it'll be a fun day. It'll be more fun if we get some winners here. 3-1 run over the last couple of days on the show here. 3-0 in baseball. Another winner yesterday I gave out on the show. Blue Jays and Royals under the total. That was a winner. Under the 8. Pretty much no sweat. Was 4-2 was the final. Surprisingly, it was Toronto that I believe it was Toronto that wound up winning the game. I kind of thought Noah Cameron would outpitch Scherzer, but the opposite happened. Scherzer was very good in the game yesterday, and it wound up going his way, but that's fine. Obviously, when you have the under, it doesn't matter which pitcher outduels the other one, as long as they both do all right, and that was the case. Yeah, so that was a winner. I gave out a couple of leans on a couple of first 5 unders, which I think were also correct, which we can get to once we get into the games today. I will, well, actually, I'll talk about all of that when I get into it, because there is the weird thing going on with Atlanta, Cincinnati that I kind of forgot to bring up yesterday. We can get into that shortly, but first I will get into the WNBA slate today, which I'm not going to have a play on any of these. There are 5 WNBA games. I'll give out a couple of leans on WNBA, though. Liberty are at Connecticut here. Connecticut just beat the Liberty last time out on the same floor in Connecticut, 78-62. So you basically know what I'm about to say. If you follow me, you know what I'm going to say about the game today. The Liberty were an 11.5-point favorite on the road in this game, and they lost the game by 16. So again, I think we know what I'm going to say here. The Liberty were out to the lead early, blew the game, and then I think just kind of packed it in at the end. And this was ridiculous. The Liberty, 33.9% shooting in that game. Abysmal. 23 turnovers. They got massively out-rebounded. Needless to say, I don't think that's going to happen again. This is basically like a zigzag spot, like what you see in like NBA playoffs, etc. So obviously, I would lean to the Liberty in this game to come out and play a better game. I think they just did not take Connecticut seriously at all in that last game. They were coming off that big game, the rematch of the finals last year with Minnesota. So I think they were in a hangover spot. Yeah, they've lost 4 games in a row, but I don't think there's any way they lose this game. I think they will finally take Connecticut seriously here. And they are up to a 12-point favorite this time. The previous game line was 11.5, so it is pretty similar. So I don't think you're really losing a whole lot of line value on that. I would lean to laying the points with the Liberty in that game, but I'm not going to actually do it. But Angels, how did they do? I don't even know, actually. I haven't been really paying attention, man. I am going to talk about all their games. I mean, I am going to talk about their game today. I believe they won. No, they lost. Oh, they lost 1-0. That's right. Savale had a really good start yesterday. That's right. My apologies. Yeah, they lost 1-0. I knew it was some sort of low-scoring game. We'll talk about them when I get to it. Washington at Atlanta in the WNBA here. Atlanta won 4 out of their last 5 games. Playing some pretty good basketball right now. They just pulled off a big win over at Phoenix last time out. Stepping down in class to face Washington, but It is possible maybe they don't totally take Washington completely seriously here. They don't have a huge game up next, though, against Chicago. Washington is coming off that home loss to Golden State. They get to forget about that now and go out on the road. So starting a road trip might be a little bit of a better spot for Washington here. And Washington might have a little bit more motivation here than Atlanta does, as Atlanta is almost certainly going to be in the playoffs regardless of what happens at this point. Washington is really battling right now to be in the playoff field, I believe. So I think this matters more to Washington. So that is the way that I would lean in that game. Atlanta's down from 7-5, so the line movement coming in against Atlanta. I agree with that. Indiana is at Seattle, and this is the big game on ABC. Going to be great for ABC that Caitlin Clark is still not back. Seattle lost in the return home spot, a game that I mentioned a few days ago, I believe, on the show. It was a bad spot for Seattle, returning home from a road trip, flying east to west there. A lot of times you return home from a road trip, you just get caught in kind of just an unfocused spot, and they lost to the LA Sparks in that game. Will Seattle bounce back here? Maybe. I mean, even though Clark is not playing, it is the Indiana Fever, so I still think they might take Indiana seriously. By the way, this might be the green dildo game of the day here. It could be Atlanta again, though, or Chicago, because the dildo was thrown in games at Atlanta and at Chicago, so it could be it's going to be one of these three games, man. We don't know which. But we'll see. And you can actually bet on the dildo now. You can bet on the color of the dildo. You can bet on what happens with the dildo as far as like the person who first handles it, whether they kick it or whether they pick it up. And I forget, I think there's one other thing that you can bet on too, and I can't remember exactly what it is. It's insane, dude. The green dildo phenomenon. It might actually save the WNBA. It might actually get people watching the WNBA. Still probably not worth it to watch horrible basketball for a couple hours just to see if a dildo gets thrown, because you're going to see the highlights if it happens anyway. But it's the new thing, man. Anyway, Indiana at Seattle here. Seattle is a slight favorite in this game. Indiana is coming off 4 straight wins. Couple of them against good teams, couple of them against bad teams. So Indiana does have momentum coming into this game, but they are playing a second straight road game now. They are traveling from Dallas up to Seattle. Seattle, to me, seems to be more in a bounce-back spot, because after you lose that first game back home, a lot of times you bounce back and do better in the next game. Slightly into Seattle for me in this one, sitting at a 2.5-point favorite. Phoenix at Chicago. Phoenix has lost a bunch of games in a row. Phoenix is not as bad as what their recent stretch would make you look, although I did tell you earlier in the season, they were facing a lot of bad teams, and now this stretch, they faced a lot of good teams, and they lost every one of these recent games except the one against the worst team in that stretch. Washington was the only game they won of their last 6 games, coming off a loss to Atlanta, but they are playing a 5th straight road game, which can't really be that easy, man. So the schedule makers are not really doing Phoenix a whole lot of favors here, although they are playing against Chicago here. Angel Reese is still out for this game, so they're playing Chicago without, I guess, their best rebounder in Reese. Chicago has lost a bunch of games in a row as well. They've lost 7 straight games, I believe is what that is. I gave them out on the show in their last game, and they probably should have won the game. They wound up not only not winning, but they didn't even cover, which was just ridiculous with a horrendous final stretch in that game. Fan got arrested for throwing the dildo in Chicago, by the way, the last time out. Can look into that later, I guess. Figure out what happened with that, how they figured out who it was. Just crazy, dude. Imagine the police work in that case. Let's get the video footage. Let's get the surveillance footage of the crowd. Let's figure out who the dildo thrower is. And the thing is, if it's neon green, it's actually going to make you easier to identify, like in the crowd. But yeah, Chicago on a huge losing streak here. They'll probably want to show up and try to win this game against Phoenix, because Phoenix is a decent team. This is the game I have the least read on. Phoenix is up from 10.5 to 12.5. I would probably slightly lean to taking the points there. I mean, it just seems like a ridiculous line to be laying. And then Golden State at Vegas. Vegas played yesterday, and I was completely wrong about that game. Minnesota absolutely housed Las Vegas yesterday, man. That was insane. Vegas, they are so hard to figure out because they're a pretty good team. They have some pretty good talent there, and sometimes they just have unbelievably bad games. And I think this was the second largest margin of victory in WNBA history. Minnesota beating them 111 to 58. If you're Vegas, you are going to... I would assume Vegas is going to come out really, really angry here. And yes, it is a back-to-back, so they have no rest here, but they're fighting Golden State, man. This is a big game because it has playoff implications. They're similar in the standings. Vegas and Golden State battling each other. And Becky Hammon is Vegas' coach, and you know what she did in this game after the game was so out of hand. You know she rested her starters. So the best players on Vegas didn't play that many minutes in this game. So that's going to be good. So the back-to-back won't have as much of an effect. Like Asia Wilson played 22 minutes. She usually plays like over 30 minutes. So she got a bit of a rest there. Jewel Lloyd, kind of their sixth woman, I guess, usually plays more minutes than 19. So some of their best players, and Jackie Young also usually plays more minutes than that, and Chelsea Graham, and those are kind of all their best players. They played 19 and 21 minutes respectively. So I expect them to be decently rested despite the back-to-back scenario. So I do think Vegas should come out and play well in this game. In this game, this is one of the most unbelievable shooting outliers you'll ever see, man. Minnesota, 59.2% from the field, 63% from three-point range. You have to be kidding me. That's never going to happen again. Minnesota was 17 for 27 from three-point range. Just unbelievable. And they had more free throw attempts as well. Vegas lost the turnover battle at home. I don't see many of these things happening again. And Vegas themselves shot 34.3% from the field. Yeah, I don't see that happening again in this game. Golden State, they are on a nice little run of 3 wins in a row, but they're playing a 5th straight road game as well. And it's in a span of 8 days as well. And they're playing a 3rd game in 4 days right now, and 4th game in 6 days, all in different cities. So it's really not an easy spot for Golden State here, man. And they're coming into Vegas from Chicago. So they're also traveling through multiple time zones here. The spot does not look great for Golden State, man. So my lean in that game is Vegas. They're up from 4.5 to 9, though, which might indicate that maybe there are some players not playing for Golden State. I don't really know why the line moved up that high. So you have lost some line value on this game. Looks like we knew Kayla Thornton was going to be out already, but we do have, I guess, a couple of other injuries from the Valkyries here. Zandalasini, I don't know who that is, and Hayes, but we will see. But still, the lean for me would be to Vegas or just not playing the game, but that line does look too high to me. And I forgot, this is the rundown, baby. So we're going to talk about we're going to run down all the games. We're going to try to do it quickly here. Major League Baseball. One thing that I will point out, the thing that I was about to talk about at the beginning of the show yesterday that I forgot to mention yesterday, Atlanta and Cincinnati actually did not have a game scheduled today because yesterday's game was actually at Bristol Motor Speedway in Bristol, Tennessee. So it's actually kind of a neutral site game, almost midway between the two cities here. I forgot to mention that completely, and I think it has this really insanely deep center field. Like it almost looks like the Polo Grounds back in the day, the old New York Giants stadium before they moved to San Francisco. If you guys remember what classic stadiums look like. So I don't know what the deal is with that, but I saw some exaggerated views of it where it's like it just made the stadium look completely ridiculous. But that's where that game is. So that actually, the fact that the outfield is that deep might actually help with what my lean was in that game. Was the first 5 inning under in that game. It's 1-0. The game got suspended, I think, due to rain or something, and it was only in the first inning. I think they were done with the first inning, and it was 1-0. But the problem is the game's going to get resumed, and I would assume that the starters yesterday, which are a huge part of that handicap, will not come out and continue pitching, which was Strider against Burns. So I think you're going to get the bullpens coming out. So luckily for Atlanta and Cincinnati, though, I think both teams don't play tomorrow, though. So because they basically scheduled this game with like days off around it, I guess. So they get lucky in that regard. Because I think their bullpens are going to be really used in this game, and they do have the ability to do so here. So they're going to resume that game. Houston at my Boston Red Sox, playing an early game in about an hour from now. 11:35 a.m. Eastern. I don't know why this is a game this early, man. Like, you used to never see a game this early in Boston, except for the one on Patriots Day. They always play early on Marathon Monday, but whatever. Houston and Boston. Again, Red Sox are on the verge of a sweep. Well, actually, wait a minute. I'm going to wait to talk about this game. Actually, no, I can't wait to talk about it. Fuck it. You're going to get one of my best bets early. It is Houston minus 115. I can't wait to talk about it because by the end of the show, the game might start. So I'm going to try to get through all these games before that happens, but we will see. But I'm going to give it out now. Houston is going to be my play in this game, minus 115. We can look at the market read on this here, which let me see if we have that here. Here it is. Houston, 73% of tickets, 85% of the cash. And yes, by the way, fucking pregame, man. They still have not fixed their shit, so you still don't see any of the market percentages. So thanks, pregame. So I'm looking at wager talk here, but we see 74% of tickets, 85% of the cash on Houston. Now, the line has gone up from minus 115 to the point where it's at minus 130 at some books now, including bookmakers. So that's kind of that's the book that caters more to the professionals, and I'm kind of looking at as more of like a signal, but generally the line has just gone up everywhere. It looks like the public is on Houston and the professional money is on Houston as well. The Red Sox have won 4 in a row. They are on the verge of a sweep here. Yesterday's game got a little bit crazy as the bench is cleared after Neris intentionally balked. He's a relief pitcher for Houston. He balked Trevor Story over to third base, which is kind of stupid, just to yell at the Red Sox third base coach because Houston was accusing the Red Sox of stealing signals, which is also kind of crazy because Houston and Boston are the two teams that were known for stealing signals over the last several years or whatever. It's been these two teams, so it's like pot calling the kettle black basically there. I don't even know if there was any signal stealing, but the bench is cleared. It was stupid. It was crazy. So these teams do not like each other, man. I still like the Astros more than I like the Yankees, though. So I don't even hate Houston, to be honest. I've gone to one of their games there. Boston, anyway, yeah, the Red Sox are on the verge of the sweep, though, so Houston might come out with a little bit more fire in this game. And there is a reason why Houston is a road favorite in this game against the Red Sox. Houston had less bullpen usage yesterday as well, and they have the better bullpen. So Houston used 4 relief pitchers yesterday. The Red Sox actually used 6. So the Red Sox only have 2 relief pitchers that didn't pitch yesterday, which is ridiculous. So Houston has the better bullpen slightly anyway. As you can see here, they're actually second in bullpen whip in all of Major League Baseball. The Red Sox not bad either, though, with a better ERA and at 6th in whip. But still, Houston has the advantage here because they're more rested. Boston probably has the slight hitting edge with Houston having some injuries right now. Red Sox 5th in overall OPS. Houston has dropped down to 11th, but I weigh the pitching more strongly than I weigh the hitting, man. And I'm going to go with Framber Valdez here, man. I mean, he's still pretty much dominating. Start in, like every start, basically. Start in and start out. 2.62 ERA, 1.11 whip. He has a 3.71 ERA on the road. So, yes, he's a little bit worse on the road, but it doesn't even really matter that much. And Houston had won 13 games in a row with him on the mound, I believe, until their last game where against Washington, he went 6 innings, 1 earned run allowed, 3 hits allowed, 12 strikeouts, 2 walks, and they didn't win that game because his team only scored 1 run behind him, and they wound up losing later in the game. Absolutely ridiculous. So he pitched easily well enough to win that game too. He's just on a tear, man. I mean, he's allowed more than 2 earned runs twice, going all the way back to, or 3 times, I guess, 3 times all the way back, going all the way back to mid-April. Ridiculous. 2.16 ERA this past month, 33-5 strikeout walk ratio. Valdez, he's still pitching really well. He's still completely in form. Red Sox don't have a lot of guys who have seen him before. They have 28 at-bats against him, 5-4 strikeout walk ratio, but he's held him to a 214 average and 598 OPS. So Valdez has been really, really good against the Red Sox. Lucas Giolito pitching for the Red Sox, not as good. 3.8 ERA, 1.25 whip. He has a 4.84 ERA at home, so he is worse at home. So the splits are kind of going against both teams here. Yes, the Red Sox have won 5 of his last 6 starts. I understand that. He started pitching a little bit worse more recently, though, even though he has a 3.41 ERA over the last month, 26-8 strikeout walk ratio. But he did have a couple of bad starts in there. I know they were on the road against the Cubs and Philly. Both teams hit pretty well, but he did allow 9 runs across 9 1/3 innings there. He might be starting to kind of slide a little bit, and Houston is a step back up offensively from these teams that he actually pitched well against. He pitched well against Washington, Colorado, Minnesota. Sure, Toronto was in that mix as well, but still, Houston definitely better offensively than Washington, Colorado, and Minnesota. So he is having to step back up in class. And Houston hits him decently in 89 at-bats, 18-11 strikeout walk ratio. They have 8 home runs off him. And Correa has 3 of those, and he's back on Houston, 7 for 27 with 3 home runs. Not a great batting average, but still he has a lot of home runs off him and 3 walks. 270 average overall for Giolito, 934 OPS allowed to the Red Sox there. So I'm going to go with Houston there. Minus 115, I found it at Massachusetts MGM maybe. It was either MGM or Caesars. Some of these books lag way behind. Minus 135 is crazy. I mean, the line keeps going up, man, because I think I'm on the right side, but I thought you'd at least be able to find like minus 120 something at various places. I would still do it, or, I mean, I don't know, man, if you want to lay the run line or just stay off of it because of the price. But I also have to do my, dude, I have to do my Instagram video too. This is ridiculous because I'm not going to be done with this. Do you think I can get my, well, we'll see how it goes. Let's see if I can get done with all of this before I have to do the Instagram video here to try to get that out. LA at Tampa Bay here. Man, Tampa Bay shutout win yesterday, 4-0 after they got shut out 5-0 the game before that. Tampa Bay has the better bullpen over LA, so they probably get the bullpen edge. Although LA, they only used 3 relief pitchers yesterday. Tampa Bay used 3 relief pitchers as well. So Tampa Bay, I'll give them the bullpen edge here. LA's isn't very good, but LA has the better starter with Yamamoto on the mound. 2.63 ERA, 1.05 whip, 1.78 ERA, so he is better on the road. 32-8 strikeout walk ratio and 2.7 ERA over the past month. So he is in really good form right now, and the Rays have barely seen him. Only 2 hitters have seen him before, and they're 1 for 4 off him, even though, yes, one of them is a Kim home run, but they also have 2 strikeouts. So overall, I expect Yamamoto should come out and Yamamoto Tampa Bay's hitters down, I would imagine. Joe Boyle is pitching for Tampa, and he's very difficult to predict. Young pitcher Joe Boyle, 2.82 ERA, 0.85 whip. Really nice numbers this year and a .9 ERA at home, even though this is a hitter-friendly stadium. But he did not do well last time out in a similar stadium in the Bronx, getting tagged for 4 earned runs, 3 walks, 4 hits. Did still have 6 strikeouts, but the Yankees tagged him. And yes, I know the Yankees are a good hitting team, but so are the Dodgers. I don't know if we could trust Boyle, man. He's probably not going to go that deep into this game. Last 4 outings, he's gone 4 innings or less over the last 4 each. So I think Yamamoto is pretty clearly going to go deeper into this game than Boyle. So I'm going to have a slight lean to the Dodgers in this game. Yesterday, I believe I gave out first 5 inning under in that game is what I gave out yesterday, right? So I believe that was a correct call yesterday in that game with, I know it was Rasmussen. It was Rasmussen against Snell in his return from the DL, and Snell got outpitched, but he was okay enough, and Rasmussen was very good. In this game, where's the Dodgers here? They're up. They have 66% of tickets, 91% of the cash, but they've dropped from minus 190 all the way down to the minus 150s range. So a big line move down towards Tampa, even though it looks like the cash is coming in on Tampa. The under getting subtraction as well, 89% of the cash compared to 82% of the tickets. I wouldn't really disagree with the under necessarily. I still think maybe playing the Dodgers in some way makes more sense in this game. Maybe playing Tampa under their team total because it's expected to be a low-scoring game. And if you like the Dodgers, don't want to lay the price on the road, maybe that's the way to do it. But, I mean, Tampa could certainly score against the Dodgers defense, though, or Dodgers bullpen, excuse me. Although their defense I don't think is that great either, but the bullpen. So all things to keep in mind there. Frankie over 4.5 hits? What are we talking about? No way. I mean, that's almost impossible, right? You must be getting like plus, like what? Like what are you getting on the odds on that? Like probably should be like 40-1, although you probably would not get anywhere near the odds on that. Under 8.5, I would agree. I agree with the under in that game generally, but I don't trust the Dodgers bullpen really. bets 3+ runs. I don't like any of those alternate prop lines, man. I mean, there's just no way it's going to hit. I don't agree with it. I don't know. I mean, we're expecting it to be a lower scoring game too, which is, not good for hitter props. Montas, I mean, I'll talk about him when we get to it. I think maybe I agree with that one. I mean, I think Montas is facing a team that hits him well. Milwaukee at Washington here. This game, Washington's just been getting absolutely wrecked in this series. They've lost 4 games in a row. Washington, we know their bullpen is worse. So I think Washington has a disadvantage all across the board here. Washington only used 3 relief pitchers yesterday, but we know their bullpen is horrendous, especially after the trade deadline. They got rid of some of their other players. Milwaukee, their bullpen's been getting better, and their bullpen usage has not been high recently. Misiorowski is pitching for the Brewers, 2.7 ERA, 0.96 whip. I mean, we know he's been really, really good in his rookie campaign so far, but he's been worse on the road. 4.73 ERA. Oh, wait, he's not pitching anymore? Never mind then. It's Logan Henderson now. Oh, shit. Let me see. Is that actually right? Hold on. Yep, you're right. My mistake. So Milwaukee, 74% of the cash, 70% of the tickets still, but it's not Misiorowski. I was going to say Misiorowski, he's been an issue, man. Like recently, he just hasn't been going deep into games, even though he's a huge strikeout guy. He's been walking too many guys. So now Logan Henderson is pitching. Maybe that's not a good thing here. His numbers are still good. 1.71 ERA, 0.95 whip. He's a really young guy too, 23. He's made 4 starts in his career all this season. I totally forgot about this guy. 2.7 road ERA. That's still pretty good. This is why the line hasn't moved that much, man, because he's still been really good too. He has a crazy 29-6 strikeout walk ratio this season and only 14 hits allowed in 21 innings. He's been really good as well. He's gone 5 innings or more in every start. Milwaukee's won all 4 of his starts, but they were against A's, Cleveland, Baltimore, and Pittsburgh. So the best offense that he faced was the A's, but Washington's not a great offense either. So I'm still going to say Milwaukee has the edge across the board here. Brad Lord pitching for Washington. I mean, he's basically a converted reliever. 3.27 ERA, 1.2 whip. That's not good. 3.93 ERA on the season. Also not very good. Oh, wait, excuse me. What am I even saying? 3.27 ERA, 1.2 whip. Those are good numbers. Excuse me. I'm out of my mind right now. I'm trying to get through this real quick. 3.93 ERA at home is good, but it's worse. He has worse numbers at home. My apologies. But yeah, he's a converted reliever basically. So he's only gone 4 innings or more in his last 2 outings when he entered the starting rotation, but he's not striking guys out. He's not a strikeout guy. He is holding guys off the base pass, though. He doesn't walk a lot of guys, doesn't give up a lot of hits, so he comes in, kind of keeps his team in the game. Brewers are 0 for 8 with a strikeout off him, so Lord might do okay while he's in there, but as soon as he's out and the bullpens come in, I think it's going to be hell. Yes, the line has dropped. It was minus 180. I think probably with Miz being the starter, we're all the way down into the minus 150s now. I still think it would be Milwaukee or you pass this game. I mean, I think Milwaukee still has the edge across the board in this game. Probably Milwaukee run line does make sense, even though we do see the cash percentage now going against them at 50% of the cash, 66% of the tickets. Milwaukee team total over. I don't know if I love that just because Lord might be able to hold them down earlier in the game. I don't know, though, because Lord has gotten me. I've faded him in both of those starts, and I think those were both losers for me, so I'm a little bit worried about that, although Washington's bullpen could certainly give it up. Toronto with the 4-2 win yesterday. Toronto has the better bullpen generally over Kansas City. Only used 3 relief pitchers yesterday. Kansas City has a lot of bullpen rest. 2 relief pitchers used yesterday, and the rest of their bullpen hasn't pitched since Wednesday, so the Royals do have a bullpen edge in this game. Lugo pitching for the Royals, 3.03 ERA, 1.13 whip. He's continuing to do well. A little bit worse on the road, 3.44 ERA. He's won 4 of the last 5 starts, 5 of the last 6 starts, or he hasn't won all of them, but his team has won them. Good numbers against Toronto as well, 28 at-bats, 214 average, 583 OPS, 7-5 strikeout walk ratio. Isn't very good, but the rest of his numbers are quite good against Toronto. I have no idea if the roof is open or not. I would guess it probably is because it's probably not that hot up there. It hasn't been that hot up here recently in Boston. Where's the weather report on this thing? I don't know if it says game information. We have no weather report on this. I'd have to go to the weather site. I mean, I don't know, but I don't even factor it in really at all. Chris Bassett pitching for Toronto, 4.24 ERA, 1.34 WHIP. His numbers are getting worse, although he's way better at home. 2.65 home ERA is way better. This month, though, past month, 4.08 ERA, not very good, even though 28-5. Strikeout walk ratio was good. Toronto did win 4 of his last 6 starts, but his last couple of outings, the last outing, he got wrecked by Baltimore, and I gave out Baltimore first 5 innings on this show in that game, and that was a correct one. He gave up 2 homers, 6 earned runs, and 2 1/3 in that game. Bassett might be kind of falling out of form here a little bit, man. Not pitching quite as well recently, giving up whatever that was, 7 earned runs in the last 2 starts combined. Not exactly great. Or no, 9 earned runs. Against the Royals, surprisingly, because the Royals' offense is way worse than Toronto's. 58 at-bats, 293 average allowed, and 763 OPS. So Bassett actually has not done well against Kansas City. So that's one knock against Bassett. I'm going to lean towards Kansas City in this game, man. We have 62% of the tickets and only 56% of the cash on Toronto. Line has moved up from -135 up a bit. I see it at -150 at Caesars here, but Bookmaker has it down at -139. So again, I think Bookmaker, the sharper book, kind of agreeing with what I'm kind of talking about there. I would lean to Kansas City in that game. Minnesota at Cleveland. Cleveland with the win yesterday. 4 games in a row that they've won, man. I told you I leaned to Cleveland yesterday. That did happen. 5-4, though. It was a close game. I think they won in extra innings, and I think we saw a ton of bullpen usage in that game. Well, Cleveland used 4 relief pitchers yesterday. Minnesota actually, I'm wrong. I was thinking of a different game. My apologies. Minnesota only used Pearson Ole, who I believe might have made 1 start against the Red Sox. They used him for a bunch of innings out of the bullpen. Minnesota's bullpen is pretty much clear coming into this game, but it's not a very good bullpen. But they do have a bullpen rest edge in this game at least, but they're going to need it because they're probably going with a bullpen game here. Urania is the listed starter for the Twins, 5.4 ERA, 1.53 WHIP, 6.97 road ERA, which is really not good. He's been all over the place this year, literally. He was on the Mets, then he was on Toronto, then he was on the Dodgers, and now he's going to be, I guess, making his first appearance for, who is he on now? The Twins, for the Twins here. So I guess the Twins made a trade with the Dodgers. So he's now over here with the Twins. Yeah, he's been all over the place. These teams don't want him. By the way, when I talked about Carlos Carrasco, that was his first start with, I believe, Atlanta's where he's at now. I didn't even remember. He was actually on the Yankees, I believe, to begin this season. So I totally forgot about that for Carrasco. Anyway, Urania, he's basically a converted reliever, though. I mean, as you can see here, he is basically a reliever, so he's probably going to be an opener here. He hasn't gone deeper than 4 1/3 innings in any of these outings. He's probably only going to go a couple innings in this game. Twins with at least a pretty rested bullpen. They're going to go with a bullpen game here, which is maybe not a good thing for the Twins. Urania has 31 at-bats against only 3 Cleveland hitters, 226 average, 766 OPS, 6-4 strikeout walk ratio. So his numbers, a little bit hard to read into against Cleveland because a lot of them haven't seen him before. But he's going to be out of the game pretty quickly. Cantillo for Cleveland, 4.14 ERA, 1.44 WHIP, 4.95 ERA at home. So he's worse at home. Over this past month, not great numbers here, actually. 27-14 strikeout walk ratio, 4.57 ERA, and he's walked at least 3 in 4 of the 5 outings, walking 8 over the last 9 innings across 2 outings. Not good. He's not going deep into games. He's only gone at least 5 innings in 2 of those outings. Cantillo, I mean, he was a guy that I kind of trusted a bit recently, but I don't know if I trust him here, although Minnesota has good numbers. He has good numbers against Minnesota, 14 at-bats, 143 average allowed, 690 OPS, although 7-4 strikeout walk ratio is not very good, but overall he has been good against this Minnesota lineup. Neither of these lineups are that good. Zach, what's up, man? Let's go Royals, yeah. So in this game, I don't even know if I have that much of an opinion here, but maybe Cleveland just still, because I think Cantillo will at least get them deeper into the game. Minnesota, I never like these bullpen games, man, so slight lean to Cleveland. Cantillo at least does pitch well against Minnesota. 78% of tickets, 93% of the cash on Cleveland. The money Looks like it's headed towards the over as well. 77% of tickets on the under and 53% of the cash on the under. I'm not sure I totally agree with that. We see 8.5 at a bunch of places. Well, 8.5 at Bookmaker, though, where it's 8 at some of the other books. So I guess that's a little bit of an indicator. And Cleveland, all over the board, between -1 in the -150s all the way up to -170, which is at Caesars, interestingly. So maybe Cleveland run line might make sense there, but we will see. New York at Miami, the Yankees at Miami. The Yankees are on the verge of getting swept. And again, I will say the one thing, Minnesota might still come out with some fire just because they want to avoid getting swept. So that sweep avoidal spot does still give you some some motivation here. Washington is in that type of spot as well. New York at Miami, this is going to be interesting. Miami actually won the first 2 games yesterday, a 2-0 shutout. And I believe I said I liked the first 5 innings under in that game as well. Yuri Perez, really good in that game yesterday for Miami. Schlittler wasn't bad for the Yankees either. Yankees have not that great of a bullpen, though. They used 3 relief pitchers yesterday, which isn't that bad. Miami used some of their better relievers, I believe. They only used 3 relievers as well, but they used some of their better relievers to finish the game off, so maybe the Yankees have a slight bullpen edge here. Luis Gil is pitching for the Yankees. He is coming off being injured since last season. He has not pitched yet this season. Last season, he had good numbers overall, 3.5 ERA, 1.19 whip. He was the same pretty much home and away. Didn't really matter. His issue was always that he walked too many guys, man. He's a hard thrower. He strikes a lot of guys out. He walks way too many guys. But overall, he does get the job done with decent numbers. And Miami has never seen him before. We'll have to see, man, because with a guy like him, he's so young. He hasn't pitched much in the majors at all. He's only pitched in the majors since 2021, missed the entire 2023 season. He really didn't have a full season until last year. So I don't know how used to being injured like this he is, although it looks like he was injured for the entire 2023 season. So maybe he is used to doing this and coming back, but I don't know what we're going to get out of him in this game, man. If he is in his form that he was in last year, he should pitch well in this game, but I don't know if I would want to bank on it. Edward Cabrera for the Marlins is pitching well, 3.35 ERA, 1.23 whip, 3 ERA at home, excuse me. So he's been better at home. This month, 2.43 ERA, 27-4 strikeout walk ratio, though he had walked 3 in his last outing. That was 3 of those 4 walks, but his walk rate was still really low. So he's a wild guy, usually throws hard as well, walks a lot of guys usually, but he had kept the walks down for a while, but maybe that wildness is kind of seeping back in, but I still think he is in good form right now, and he is pitching well. Has decent numbers against the Yankees in 26 at-bats, 12 strikeouts is a high strikeout rate, 5 walks, 231 average allowed, 739 OPS allowed. So this game, I'm kind of thinking under. Looking towards some sort of under might make sense in this game. We have 72% of tickets, 81% of the cash on the under. Total's already down from 8 to 7.5. I would maybe even be looking first 5 innings because I don't know if I really trust the bullpens that much. But if you do that in the first 5 innings, it's going to be a low number, man. Like probably 3.5 maybe, which is a little bit dicey to do that. Yankees have 59% of tickets, 72% of the cash, but they've dropped from -120 down to the -110 range. I think laying a price like that with the Yankees on the road is a little bit much to pay, even though I know the way he pitched last year, he potentially could do well in this game, and I do think he probably will, but it's a little bit iffy, man. You tend to pay a tax for the Yankees, so I worry about that a little bit. Giants at the Mets. The Mets got back at the Giants after they lost the return home spot, which I gave out the Giants on the show. The Mets won yesterday 12-6. Really high scoring game there. This was the game I think I was thinking of. The Mets used a bunch of relievers, 5 relievers. It was Texas-Seattle used a bunch of relievers too, but we'll get to that. Mets used 5 relievers. San Francisco only used 3. I'm going to give San Francisco the bullpen edge here. Generally, they do have the better bullpen, so they should have the bullpen edge here. Mets obviously have an offensive edge here. Wisenhunt is pitching for San Francisco, and he's only made 1 start in his career. Last time out, he was very mediocre against a pretty bad Pittsburgh offense, who may be the worst offense in all of baseball. 5 innings pitched, 3 strikeouts, 2 walks. That's not very good, to be honest. 4 earned runs allowed. I mean, it was okay, at least, I guess, for your first start in the majors. But given that it was against Pittsburgh, I give him a little bit less credit for it because Pittsburgh's just not that good. Although, yes, it was his first start. Maybe he will do better here. Of course, the Mets have never seen him before. Whisenhunt doesn't throw hard. He's a changeup specialist. He has like an elite changeup, and he has some other pitches to go with it. But he's a guy that tries to fool you with like movement and like kind of masking his pitches. So we will see what happens in that game, man. I don't know if I'm ready to trust him, though. Montas is pitching. JMA, and here you go, your guy. Montas, his numbers for the Mets here, not very good. 5.46 ERA, 1.45 whip. He's got a where's his home ERA here? 3.31. So he has been better at home. So that's one positive for Montas here. But he didn't do well his last time out. This month, 16-4, or last month, 16-4 strikeout walk ratio is not that bad. But 5.23 ERA, not that good. Last time out at a pitcher-friendly San Diego Park, he gave up 5 earned runs, which is not very good. Against San Francisco, 51 career at-bats, 333 average allowed, and 919 OPS. So I might agree with you on the Montas over his hits allowed. I'm not really much of a prop guy, so I don't really get into the prop market that much. But his numbers specifically against the Giants are not very good, and because the Giants definitely have a bad offense, so you are having to deal with that. But you might be okay doing this because Montas might be out of the game. I don't really love the Mets bullpen that much, so you might actually get there. Or no, wait, you're talking about Montas specifically giving up 4.5 hits, excuse me. Yeah, I mean, I could see that happening, but again, it's going to depend how long he lasts in the game, too. So, but if he doesn't last that long, it probably means he did give up a lot of hits. So, generally, I probably agree with you, and it's probably a little bit of a soft number because San Francisco's offense is bad. But it looks like Montas probably won't do that well in that game, based on his matchup numbers at least. We do see minus 160 basically almost across the board with the line on the Mets. Hasn't really moved. 71% of tickets, 78% of the cash. Money on the over as well. 59% of tickets, 78% of cash on the over. Total still kind of just sitting at 8.5 though, so not a lot of line movement on that game at all. I might have a slight lean to grabbing San Francisco, to be honest, because I think you could argue they have the pitching edge across the board in the game. So I might look maybe San Francisco run line in that game. Baltimore at the Cubs at Wrigley. The Cubs lost yesterday after taking the season opener 1-0. They lost by 1 yesterday, 4-3. Cubs have the better bullpen and the better offense. Cubs, some light bullpen usage, not a ton. 3 relievers used yesterday. Baltimore used 4, and they already have the worst of the 2 bullpens. So not looking good for Baltimore in this analysis already. Brandon Young pitching for Baltimore. He could get better. I mean, he's a young guy with good stuff, but numbers this year are bad. 6.63 ERA, 1.69 whip. He's been a little bit better at home, but that's relative. 6.23 ERA. 23-7 strikeout walk ratio over the past month isn't bad, but a 6.38 ERA is very high, obviously, so that's not good. But is he getting a little bit unlucky? I don't know, man. He's allowed a lot of hard hits. He's allowed too many hits. He's been too hittable. 30 hits this past month in 24 innings, 6 home runs allowed. Good start last time out against Toronto, 6 innings. That was the first time he went more than 5 1/3 in any start in his career, I guess, in the majors. Had 6 strikeouts, 2 walks. So he is coming off his best start as a major leaguer. So maybe that's the start of something good, but he is... Yeah, that sounds like a song. Something tells me I'm into something good. He's pitching against a really good Cub lineup here, though. And the Cubs, I think, are pretty good at home, too. So might not be good for him in this game. JC, what's up, man? Thanks for hanging out. Colin Ray pitching for the Cubs here. 4.25 ERA, 1.32 whip. Those numbers are not great. And you know me, I don't love Ray that much. I mean, he's a little bit worse at home, but pretty similar numbers. Over this past month, he hasn't really been going deep into games recently. 5 or fewer innings in his last 3 outings. 19-9 strikeout walk ratio over the past month isn't that great. Doesn't strike out a lot of guys, really. 3.9 ERA is fine, so he is not allowing that many runs, but the last couple of starts, he gave up 9 runs in 9 innings, or 9 earned runs in 9 innings against KC, who's not a good offense at all, and then Milwaukee, who do have a good offense, but Ray kind of struggling in these recent starts. He does have good numbers against Baltimore, but it's a small 17 at-bat sample size, but 9 strikeouts, 2 walks, 179 average, 616 OPS. So Ray does decently against Baltimore, so you could definitely argue that Ray is the better of the two starters against Young here. It's difficult to gauge. Like, I think Young has the higher ceiling, though, so that's why I kind of get confused by this game a little bit. And looking at the numbers here, probably a pretty big favorite line on the Cubs here. They're actually down from minus 185 down to minus 173, so not a huge line. 83% I think is 93% of the cash on them. Total is at 8, so it looks like the wind isn't a huge factor in this game at Chicago. Probably too heavy a price to lay on the Cubs, though. I just don't love Ray on the hill there, but it's a tough game to really figure out, man, for me. Very, very difficult. The Cubs do have an advantage pretty much across the board in the game, though, so I would probably still not really want to play Baltimore. Pittsburgh, Colorado, I'll save that one for the end of the show because that's my other play that I have. It's a first 5-inning play, and you're probably not going to like it, but you have to wait for that great matchup of Pittsburgh and Colorado. How about that? A's and the Diamondbacks. The A's won the first game of the series and then lost yesterday, so they lost a win streak yesterday, and Arizona actually ended a loss streak, so the momentum is actually in favor of Arizona here because they just broke a loss streak, but I've been saying their headspace probably isn't right because they know they're not going for it this year. They sold off at the break, but maybe that win will help give them some momentum going forward. Like, okay, guys, like let's win some games. Let's play baseball. You know what I mean? A's obviously have the worst bullpen, even though Arizona's bullpen is bad, but these bullpens, the A's are the worst bullpen in all baseball, though the A's, is that right? It looks like the A's used no relief pitchers yesterday. Is that correct? I guess that must be correct. And Arizona used 3, so the A's have a rested bullpen at least after yesterday. That's insane. The A's didn't use any relief pitchers. They just let their starter, I guess, get shelled. What did they do yesterday? No, that's not right. They used 4 relief pitchers, so thank you, RotoWire, for misleading me. Yeah, JT Ginn didn't last in that game. That's right. Yeah, so 4 relief pitchers. I was looking at Atlanta. Oh, sorry, my mistake. I apologize, RotoWire. My mistake. I was looking at Atlanta. Yeah, 4 relief pitchers. So, yeah, Arizona has the bullpen edge, which rarely do you say that. Erod is pitching for the Diamondbacks here. 5.63 ERA, 1.65 whip. Eduardo Rodriguez, not good numbers. 5.84 ERA on the road this year, not good. This is a hitter-friendly park as well. This past month, 7.4 ERA. Arizona lost all 4 of those starts for him in 5 starts in a row. They've lost. He had an 18-7 strikeout walk ratio, and he gave up an abysmal 34 hits in 20 2/3 innings. It's 7 home runs, which doesn't bode well for him pitching in a hitter-friendly ballpark here. And he doesn't have good numbers against the A's either. 46 at-bats, 304 average, 812 OPS. 12-2 strikeout walk ratio is not that bad, but it looks not good for Erod here. He's going up against Jack Perkins, whoever the hell that is, for the A's. He's a young guy, 25, 2.75 ERA, 0.92 whip on the season. Worse at home, though, and can you blame him? I mean, this stadium, again, wrecks pitchers for the most part. 5.4 home ERA, not great. Looks like it's going to be a bullpen game for the A's because Perkins has gone at most 3 1/3 innings in any of his outings this year. So Perkins is going to be an opener most likely here and not go that deep into this game. Arizona's never faced him before, and he has pitched fairly well this year in short stints, but I just don't think he's going to be that trustworthy. We're going to get the A's bullpen into this game. We know both bullpens suck. Both starters look pretty bad in this game, so you know where I'm going with this. It would be over for me in this game. I think that's the only way to really look at this game. We see 67% of tickets on the under for some reason. I don't know how the public is on an under here. 53% of the cash on the over, though. And the total is reasonable for an A's home game at 10 and juice to the under, too. So, yeah, I'm leaning towards the over in this game, though, even though the bookmaker does have it at 10 juice to the under as well. But that's the way that I'm looking in that game. And the A's are a slight home favorite at most books. 52% of tickets, 72% of the cash on them. It's basically a pick the winner type of scenario there, but there's no way that I would trust the A's pen. I don't think I trust their pitching scenario at all. In the momentum, I would actually go against that. I would actually disagree with that. I would lean to Arizona, but I think the much stronger way to play that is an over. 7 straight unders in Sacramento Stadium. Yeah, that's interesting. That's true, yeah. the odds makers are always putting up a really high total there, but I'm actually surprised both of these games have gone under with a matchup between Arizona and the A's. It might just be that both teams know they're out of it now, so they're just not focused on hitting anymore. Arizona traded away some of their bats, but still. And then these other games, I mean, Houston was on the road, never mind, but the games against Seattle, yeah, I mean, that's kind of surprising because Seattle does hit better on the road. White Sox at Anaheim. Andrew, here's your Angels team here. They've lost 3 in a row. They're on the verge of getting swept after losing 1-0 yesterday. But I think they might get swept here, man. I mean, you know me. I don't like Anaheim's bullpen. They're one of the worst bullpens in Major League Baseball. They used 4 relief pitchers yesterday, which is not a good sign for Anaheim either. Only 2 relief pitchers came out for the White Sox yesterday. So even though the White Sox bullpen's not good either, I think you got to give the bullpen edge to the White Sox here, and I think they also have the starting pitching edge. And the White Sox actually have pitched well on the road, have hit well on the road recently. So the White Sox, even though they're the worst of these two offenses, Anaheim has a decent offense, but still, I think the White Sox, the edge that Anaheim has might be a little bit less because the White Sox have been hitting surprisingly well recently. I think the White Sox have the better starter on the hill, too, with Sean Burke, 4.17 ERA. 1.4 whip is not good, 1.41. He's worse on the road, too, 4.7 ERA on the road. So I do hesitate a little bit. He's failed to go 5 innings in each of his last 2 starts, which does worry me. His walk rate has been a bit too high. His strikeout rate's been okay over the last month. 25 strikeouts, more than 1 per inning. 11 walks, though, is definitely too many. 4.01 ERA, but he's basically kept the opposing runs down in his, how many starts is this? In his last 7 starts, he's only allowed more than 2 earned runs 1 time. So he is keeping runs off the board. Against Anaheim, he has pretty good numbers in a small 14 at-bat sample size. Only 1 strikeout, no walks, but 214 batting average allowed, 500 OPS. Burke has done pretty well just in general against Anaheim. So I think he has the upper hand over Jack Kohanowitz, who I don't think is very good at all. 5.75 ERA, 1.62 whip, not good. Worse at home, too, with a 6 ERA at home. He's just not getting it together, man. Anaheim sent him to the minors recently, and he came back. In his first start back, he walked 6 guys against Texas. He only gave up 1 hit, and he didn't give up any earned runs, but he put a ton of guys on base, was out of the game in 4 2/3 innings. He was not pitching very efficiently. Struck out 3. I mean, it was not a good outing for him. Over the past month when he has pitched, 7-11 strikeout walk ratio, a 7.11. Not very convenient in this case. He hasn't pitched well, man. 7.82 ERA over that span. It's not going well for him, and I don't really expect it to go particularly well from here, although it is a weak White Sox lineup still. 27 at-bats against him. They only have 5 hits, no extra base hits, 5 strikeouts, no walks, 185 average, and 370 OPS against him. So Kohanowitz does have good numbers against the White Sox. The White Sox have 57% of tickets, only 51% of the cash. Line has dropped, though, from -140 to into the -120s on Anaheim. And I agree with that move. I would lean to the White Sox on the money line here. Could potentially look for an under in the first 5 innings as well, because I think both starting pitchers actually might do okay in this game. But I still don't know if you could trust Kohanowitz, but maybe in this one game, maybe he does okay. Just because he has the matchup numbers that are okay. But we see money on the over. 53% of tickets, 88% of the cash on the over. Total has gone down, though, from 9.5 to 9, basically, at most places. So, yeah, I mean, I guess read into that what you will. But I still think the strongest lean there is Chicago, probably just on the money line. San Diego's hosting St. Louis. San Diego lost yesterday after winning the first game of the series, losing 8-5 yesterday. San Diego does have the better bullpen here. Bullpen usage, St. Louis used 2 relievers yesterday, which is not bad, although they sold off at the trade deadline, and San Diego added relief pitchers. They added Mason Miller over from the A's. San Diego has used 4 relievers yesterday, but you still got to give the bullpen edge to San Diego, in my opinion. I think it's that much better. They have one of the best bullpens in baseball. Andre Pallante pitching for St. Louis, not good. 4.62 ERA, 1.31 whip. Worse on the road, 4.82 road ERA. Coming off a really nice 7-inning, 1-hit shutout against Miami. 4 strikeouts, 1 walk. But The rest of his starts this month were bad. He gave up 5 or more earned runs in the prior 3 starts. So I don't know that this is the start of anything, really, because overall, he has not been good. 16-8 strikeout walk ratio over that last month, 5.16 ERA. That's not good. Against San Diego, his numbers aren't good either. In 44 at-bats, 9-6 strikeout walk ratio, 318 average allowed, 855 OPS. So bad numbers overall for Pallante against San Diego. So I don't think you can really trust him here, even though it is a pitcher-friendly park. That affects both pitchers here. And Dylan Cease is pitching for the Padres. Big time disappointing this season. 4.79 ERA, 1.34 whip, not good. But he has been better in this stadium with a 3.99 ERA, better at home. Although his last start at home was not good against the Mets. 5 earned runs. Didn't even make it 5 innings. 4 2/3 innings pitched. 102 pitches thrown. He's throwing way too many pitches, man. He has a very high strikeout rate. 36-11 strikeout walk ratio this past month in 27 innings, but 7 home runs allowed. It's way too many home runs, way too many walks. I mean, he's been wild. He's walked 8 over the last 9 2/3 innings across 2 starts. That's not good either. Very high strikeout rate for him, so he is still fooling hitters, but 5.67 ERA over that span, too. He's still not pitching well, man. Against St. Louis, his numbers aren't good either. In 42 at-bats, 381 batting average, 994 OPS. That's pretty bad. And given that San Diego did use some of their relievers yesterday, I know their bullpen is really good, but if Cease doesn't last in this game, they'll have to use more relievers as well. I'm thinking over is the right way to go in this game. We have 59% of tickets, 54% of the cash on the under. Total kind of just sitting at 8. It was juiced to the over. It is down to 8 at Bookmaker, but I kind of disagree with that one. I think the over, I think that's actually kind of a low total. I know it's a very pitcher-friendly park, but both starting pitchers don't look good, and maybe over first 5 innings you could do as well, which is kind of a rarity for me, just to avoid San Diego's bullpen and the fact that they're actually good. San Diego down from minus 185 to into the minus 170s at some of the books, which seems to be a little bit of a move against San Diego. I would not really agree with that. I still think Cease has the edge over Pallante. Texas at Seattle. Let's see if I can get this done and then still do my Instagram video here. Seattle won the first 2 games of the series and then lost yesterday. 6-4. That was a game with a ton. It was an extra innings game, a ton of bullpen usage. Texas used 6 relievers, I think is what that is. And Seattle used more than that. Seattle used 7, I think. Although they're carrying an extra reliever right now on their roster, I guess, because I guess Thornton is on the DL. I guess that's why. So they're not really carrying an extra reliever. So they only have 1 relief pitcher that didn't pitch yesterday. So the bullpen scenario is bad for both of these teams, but the starting pitching could be okay. DeGrom is pitching for the Rangers. He's been more than okay. 2.55 ERA, 0.92 whip. Really good. A little bit worse on the road, 3.28 ERA, but this is still Seattle, so pitcher-friendly park. Over the last month, his ERA was up a little bit to 4.13. He only allowed more than 2 earned runs twice. His last outing against Anaheim was just not great. He had 8 strikeouts still and 1 walk, but he gave up 2 home runs, which kind of hurt him. 5 earned runs. Still overall over the past month, 36-6 strikeout walk ratio. I'm not ready to say that DeGrom is all of a sudden like out of form or anything, although he did allow 7 home runs over the last month. But this is not a very home run conducive ballpark. I think he should do fine. His numbers against Seattle are all right. DeGrom's been good pretty much throughout the entire year. I mean, he's really good. 69 at-bats, 69 against Seattle, 21-7 strikeout walk ratio, 232 average allowed, and 708 OPS. So, oh, yeah, if he was on the DL. Yeah, that information is no longer on the DL. That's right, J-Man. They call it the IL now as well, but I don't like this because you can't call it disabled, man. I'm going to call it the RL, the retarded list. DeGrom does have pretty good numbers overall, though, against Seattle. Like I said, 708 OPS, not bad. I expect him to do well. Logan Evans is hard to gauge, man. Young starter for the Mariners here, 4.22 ERA, 1.44 whip. Not great numbers, but he's been pretty good at home. 2.6 home ERA. 5.63 ERA over the past month, though, with a 20-11 strikeout walk ratio and multiple walks in 4 straight starts, and he only hit the 5-inning mark in 1 of those starts. So that's a little bit alarming, although 3 of those starts were on the road at the A's Stadium and at the Bronx against the Yankees. So those were obviously not easy outings to deal with, and he did give up 6 earned runs in each of those outings. So Texas is definitely a weaker offense, but he has not been good against Texas in 23 at-bats, 435 average allowed, 893 OPS. So I know it's a small sample size. Texas' offense is really not that good, but Evans, I think you got to trust DeGrom more than Evans here. I mean, we know who he is, but you're laying a price for DeGrom. It's down from -145 to into the -130s. Bookmaker still has one of the higher numbers on it, though. 64% of tickets on them on the Texas side, but 53% of the cash coming in against them on Seattle. So the money is actually looking like it's coming in on Seattle. Very low total at 7.5. With juice on the under, 63% of the tickets on the under, 76% of the cash on the under, but I don't see how you could play an under full game with the bullpens being so taxed here. And I don't know if I trust Evans again, so I still kind of lean to Texas in this game, but it's still too much of a price to lay on Texas. Yeah, and then the bullpen scenario, like I said, Texas does have the better bullpen overall, and it's slightly more rested as well. Again, if you go under in this game, I wouldn't disagree with it in the first 5 innings just with the starters out there, but I worry about Evans' matchup numbers. And again, yeah, I mean, it's going to be a really small number, like 3.5, so I don't really love that. So I still think Texas is the preferred side. And then the ESPN Sunday night game is a good matchup between Detroit and Philadelphia. I mean, that's a good matchup between these two teams, but the starting pitching matchup doesn't look like it's very enticing here. These two teams are good, which is why it's on ESPN. Philadelphia won the first game, lost yesterday, so it is a rubber match as well, which is going to, help the advertisement of it probably. Detroit only used 2 relievers yesterday, and they have the better bullpen, even though Philadelphia did add Duran before the trade deadline, Philadelphia used 4 relief pitchers yesterday, so I give the bullpen edge to Detroit. They have the better bullpen, but do they have the better starter? No. Charlie Morton was traded over to Detroit from Baltimore. He will make his debut. 5.42 ERA, 1.56 whip, not good numbers. He's making his Tiger debut here. He's been worse on the road as well, 6.39 road ERA, very not good. Although, as I've been pointing out with Morton, since they threw him to the bullpen and then they brought him back into the starting rotation, he actually has been good. And his team with Baltimore, they only lost 3 games going all the way back to like late May when he returned to the starting rotation. He only allowed more than 3 earned runs twice over that entire span. So he was actually pitching serviceably, but 3 walks or more in 4 straight outings, 4.91 ERA over the past month, 24-14 strikeout walk ratio. Doesn't give me a lot of confidence in him. 6 home runs allowed, more than 1 hit allowed per inning. I don't love it. Against Philly, decent numbers, huge, 2 under 12 at bat sample size, 269 average, 724 OPS. Those are not great numbers for the Philly offense. 67-27 strikeout walk ratio, but still Morton obviously is the worst of the 2 starters against Christopher Sanchez, who's having an elite season. 2.55 ERA, 1.09 whip for Philadelphia. Very similar home and away, only slightly worse at home. Past month, really good numbers. 1.95 ERA, 36-5 strikeout walk ratio. So you know which of these pitchers is better and in the better form. And Detroit only has 2 hitters who have ever seen him before. Torres has a home run off him, but 167 average allowed and 833 OPS allowed. So I got to lean to Sanchez here, man. Probably first 5 innings, because I do think the bullpen edge shifts to Detroit a little bit. First 5 inning run line on Philly makes sense to me in this game, although we see 50% of tickets on Philly, 80% of the money on Detroit. So the money is coming in on Detroit. Philly is a big favorite and down from -185 to -171. So the money moved against Philly. We will see. I mean, again, I kind of lean to Philly in the first 5 innings, though, with that starting pitching matchup. But maybe Morton will come out excited because he is on a new team that is a contender. Let's go to the best bets here. I'm going to try to get this done and then get my video done real quick here. My last best bet is, you're not going to like this. It's the Colorado Rockies run line +120 in the first 5 innings only, because I don't like the bullpen. Pittsburgh's bullpen is actually okay, so I'm going to take the Colorado bullpen out. We have 69% of the tickets on Pittsburgh, but 79% of the cash coming in on Colorado. I think this is sneaky, man. Colorado, yeah, I know, they're on the verge of sweeping Pittsburgh, so Pittsburgh maybe should come out with like a little bit of fire here. I don't know why this isn't loading. Come on, ESPN. I got to get this done, dude. I hope I didn't like lose everybody here. It looks like, is my internet dead? What's going on here, man? No, it's fine. All right, I don't know. But Colorado, very high-scoring games, too. 17-16 and 8-5. Colorado won both games. Yes, we know this. Colorado, let's see. They used 5 relief pitchers yesterday. So, again, I don't want any part of their bullpen. Pittsburgh only used 3, and they have the better bullpen. We're going with just the starting pitching matchup. And on the surface, it's like, what are you doing, man? Mitch Keller is obviously the way better starter here. 3.69 ERA, 1.2 whip. Yeah, I understand that. Better on the road, 3.31 ERA. But this is not just any road start. This is Coors Field, man. And it looks like they're winding him down a bit, and he's not pitching well. 6 walks over the last 8 innings across the last 2 starts. He only went 2 innings against San Francisco. Not great either, and he threw 73 pitches, an unbelievably high pitch count for that start. So even though he was good over the past month or so, he kind of started trailing off, getting a little bit wild there. At Colorado, 45 at-bats. They have a 422 average against him and 969 OPS. So I know Colorado, not a good hitting team, but against Keller specifically, they rake against him. So this looks interesting to me. And then Blaylock pitching for the Rockies. Bad numbers, I get it. 7.09 ERA, 1.64 whip, bad numbers. Very bad at home, 12 ERA. I understand all that. It's not good. But over the past month, 3 starts, I know not a good strikeout rate with 8, but in 17 innings, but only 1 walk. And he only allowed 3 earned runs across those 17 innings, across 2 starts. I know only one of them was at home, and that was the worst of the 3, but still, he's actually in better form right now. 1.59 ERA over that span. Of course, Pittsburgh, very bad offense. They're actually the worst of the 2 offenses here, I believe, and they have not seen him before. So Blaylock might actually have a little bit of an edge and might actually be able to get this thing done. So that's where I'm going. I'm going Colorado. First 5 innings, and then the other play, like I said, coming up very shortly. Houston. Got to try to get my Instagram video out real quick here. That's going to do it, man. Those are the 2 plays today. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. Let's see if I can get the share off. Learn to Toad on Twitter and on Instagram. Better Off Dad, YouTube, audio platforms. Check it all out. Covered in Uke on YouTube as well. Patreon.com/LearnToToad. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out, and peace out. That's going to do it.